The sports gymnasium at the University of San Jose was packed that night. Bright lights illuminated the stage, where shining trophies awaited the athletes who were to be awarded. The university band played a vibrant theme while students filled the bleachers, eager to see their peers being recognized. Aline Costa, a 20-year-old black swimmer, sat in the front row with the swim team. A native of Bahia, with a broad smile and braided hair, Aline possessed a rare determination. Since joining the university on an athletic scholarship, she had trained daily, balancing the exhausting routine of practice with the academic demands of her physical education course. That night was special. She had won the 100-meter freestyle event at the State University Championship, surpassing competitors from renowned universities. She would be the first black athlete from the institution to receive the swimming team's Outstanding Performance Award. When the announcer stepped onto the stage to announce the award, Aline felt her heart race. Her teammates encouraged her, touching her shoulder and smiling excitedly. And now, the award for best performance on the swim team goes to, the announcer's voice echoed, Caio Martins. Aline blinked, stunned. Caio? He was her teammate, but he hadn't even placed in the top 3 in the competition. The auditorium applauded, albeit confused. Some of Aline's teammates exchanged perplexed looks, and she felt Caio's hesitant gaze as he walked onto the stage. The team's coach, Professor Ricardo, handed over the trophy with a forced smile. Caio took the microphone and thanked everyone, visibly uncomfortable. Aline felt a tightness in her chest. This wasn't a simple mistake. It was a choice. After the ceremony ended, she approached Professor Ricardo, trying to understand what had happened. "Professor, I think there was a mistake. I won the 100-meter race." Ricardo looked at her, hesitating for a moment. "Yes, Aline, but you know how it is. Caio has more visibility. He is the team captain and brings more support to the university." She felt her face burn. What did that really mean? That her victory wasn't important enough? That her effort could be ignored for someone who better represented the team's image? Aline knew she couldn't let this go. The walk back to the university dormitory felt endless. The voices of her teammates echoed in her mind along with Professor Ricardo's cold justification. Caio brings more visibility to the team. Visibility? What did that really mean? She collapsed onto her bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to process everything. All her effort, the daily training, overcoming injuries, the discipline to balance studies and sports. It all seemed to have been ignored. The next day during practice, the atmosphere was strange. Some teammates greeted her with timid smiles, but no one mentioned the award. Caio avoided her gaze. Outside the locker room, Leticia, her roommate and teammate, was waiting for her. "Aline, I don't even know what to say." "What happened? Yesterday was so wrong." Aline let out a short, bitter laugh. "You think? I won the race, but the trophy went to the exemplary captain." Leticia lowered her gaze. "I heard some comments. Some people said it would be strange to give the award to someone who doesn't fit the team's traditional profile." Aline frowned. The traditional profile? White, wealthy, and with a famous last name? Leticia didn't answer, but her silence said it all. In the following days, Aline sought answers. She tried talking to Professor Ricardo again, but he always avoided her or gave vague responses. She reached out to the university administration, but was met with endless bureaucratic processes. Aline began to realize that no one wanted to deal with the problem, as if her effort could be easily swept under the rug. Things got worse when an article about the award was published on the university's website. Caio's smiling photo with the trophy was featured on the homepage, along with praise for his leadership spirit and exemplary team representation. Aline wasn't even mentioned as the race's winner. Her frustration grew. She felt her place on the team was shrinking, that her effort didn't matter. The whispers increased, the suspicious glances intensified. Even Leticia seemed uncomfortable talking about it. Aline realized she had a choice to make: swallow the silence and move on, or confront a system that clearly preferred to ignore her. Aline decided she would not remain silent. She knew her victory was legitimate, the result of hard work, and she would not allow herself to be erased for convenience. Determined, she began gathering evidence. She retrieved the official results of the state competition, where her name was listed as the 100-meter freestyle champion. She printed the documents, made copies, and drafted a formal email to the physical education department, the university administration, and Professor Ricardo himself. As expected, her email was ignored. No response. Then she had an idea. During one of the training sessions, she decided to speak directly with Caio, the exemplary captain and face of the award. She found him alone outside the locker room, trying to avoid her gaze as always. "Caio, can we talk?" she asked firmly. He hesitated but nodded. "Sure, Aline. About what?" "The award. You know I won the race. You know that trophy. Should have been mine." Caio lowered his head, clearly uncomfortable. "I know, Aline, but I didn't decide that. Professor Ricardo said it would be better for the team, for the university's image." Aline took a deep breath. "And you didn't think to say anything? To refuse?" He slowly shook his head. "I thought it was just protocol, and you know how things work here. They prefer to highlight those who fit the university's profile." The lump in Aline's throat tightened. She had never fit that profile. That night, lying in bed and staring at the walls of her small dorm room, an idea emerged. If no one at the university was willing to listen, she would find a way to be heard. The next day, she made a social media post detailing the award incident, showing the official results, and openly questioning why her name had been ignored. The post went viral among students. Many shared it, expressing support, while others were uncomfortable, accusing her of playing the victim and seeking attention. The situation exploded when the university's student newspaper reached out for an interview. Her story made the homepage, sparking intense debates. Some professors began questioning the administration's actions, increasing the pressure. Aline realized she had made a bigger impact than she had imagined. The truth was out. There was no going back. Days later, the university finally responded. A formal meeting was called with the administration, the physical education department, and student representatives. Aline was invited to attend. The outcome? A public recognition of her victory, a revised award policy, and a newfound awareness of the need for representation and inclusion. Aline's fight was no longer just about a trophy. It was about ensuring that no one else would have to struggle to be seen.